Welcome to another episode of the Affinity Podcast. And today we have one of our amazing members, Meera. So, Meera, I'm going to hand it over to you and you can just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks. So yeah, like you said, I'm Meera. I'll start with my job because that's what people generally do. So I'm going to start with that. I'm a senior data analyst, but I'm currently on mat leave, and yeah, I've got two children. One's turning 3 this weekend, and one's 9 months. So yeah, proud mom of them.
Amazing. And Mira, like, what was what led you to sort of reach out to us sort of 6 months ago, back when you did? What was the aha moment or the series of events that led to that?
I think it started a lot before the 6 months mark.
Actually, yeah, we
Um,
spoke before it, didn't we? And then you got
yeah.
pregnant, right? So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after having my first, I was like not feeling like myself. So I've always been quite a strong person in a small frame. And then after I had my first baby, um, it I just didn't look like myself. I didn't feel like myself. It just wasn't. I didn't recognize myself at all. And I thought, yeah, it'll come after time. I've just given birth, and then a year had gone by, and I was like, I'm still not feeling like me. And I quite relied on just naturally being the way I was, but I wasn't doing anything different, so I didn't know what was going on. Um, so then, yeah, so then obviously I started looking at your posts, and then I saw you on Instagram, started following you, just starting following some of the tips you had on your Instagram. So I was like, I could do it myself. That's no, I couldn't. So I kept going, and then I thought, you know what, it's time. So I was just literally about to reach out, and I found out I was pregnant. So I was like, okay, maybe not now. But as soon as I had given birth, I was still in the same mindset of, look, I don't want to be where I was. I did feel like that, and I will feel like that again if I don't make any real changes. So there we go. 6 months ago, I started with you guys.
Awesome. Just to take a little bit of step back, that what you just said, like you went through a phase where in your mind you were like, I could do this myself, and then you're
Mm.
like, no, I definitely can't. What sort of like why did you have that thought initially, like I'll do this by myself? And then what was a point where you realized, okay, like this isn't working out by myself, maybe I should reach out to someone?
Um, because I'm quite a numbers person, so the numbers made sense. The information made sense. Yes, this is what you do. You need to be in a calorie deficit. It's, of course, it all makes sense. It's just I didn't have anybody holding me to account for that, I guess. I even tried it with my partner. I was like, let's do this together. He's like, yeah, yeah. But then when one of us wants like, oh, shall we just do this? Okay. It's harder to keep each other accountable when we can both, I don't know, when we're both doing it together. So we're both on the same track, really. So it was good to
Yeah.
have that push, or even just know somebody's watching, so
Excellent. And
I've
then
got to stick to it.
and just one more question regarding sort of starting with us and things like that. Nowadays there are many different people out there that sort of do similar things to what we do. Why Affinity? Why did you reach out to us in particular to help you with this journey?
So it wasn't just you that I saw on Instagram. Like you said, there are a couple of people out there. But what stuck was it seemed like more of a lifestyle change is what you guys offer rather than, okay, this is what you eat, go just work out in the gym. That's not the lifestyle I can currently have. I've got two kids. I can't live in the gym. I can't do all of that. So it had to fit in my life rather than my life fit into your program, which is what I feel it is.
Good.
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 Amazing. Yeah. So you've been with us for 6 months now.
Yeah.
And after this lifestyle change that's happened, where are you now in terms of
Um,
results? How much have we lost? Your body composition changing, how you're feeling, your energy.
I will start with I am happier. I feel like me. That's a big thing for me. And in terms of the numbers and the results, I'm 16 kg down from when I started. Which is huge. I didn't even realize I had that much to lose, but I did, and I feel a lot better for it, and I feel like me again. And I keep saying that I do feel like me again because that was the point for me. Um, so yeah, 16 kg down, happier, eating pretty much what I was before with just smarter choices, living the way I was with just smarter ways of doing it.
Amazing. And what's been your biggest learning on this program?
Um, Small things make a huge difference, I think. It's those little things that you change, those little bites you don't take, or those little, oh, I'll just finish grating the cheese. Let me just not eat the rest of the block that I can't be bothered to grate the rest of. Those things make a huge difference and they don't actually do anything for you while you're doing it anyway. So it's like, yeah, small things are huge. That's it.
So, like, knowing what you know now and doing what you're doing now, like a day in the life now versus a day in the life before, I'm sure you can sort of spot what the differences were. But just so that you could articulate it for someone that's listening, like, what were those big changes that allowed you to see, or those little changes even that allowed you to sort of stay consistent and see the difference, like a day before versus a day now? Like, what's the difference there?
Um, well, it's hard for the day in the life off because I feel I've been either pregnant or postpartum for the last 4 years. But I wasn't someone who moved a lot, really. So I'd probably get about 2,000 steps in because I just didn't move. I'd go to the kitchen, I'd come back. Or if I go to work, I'd obviously have a few more steps there where I'm walking to the office. But even then, I just sat because I could. And I thought that was okay. But it was literally, I could just take a 5 minute break and just walk or decide, okay, I'm gonna go shopping. Rather than take the car there, I'll just walk. 15, 20 minute walk there, 15, 20 minute walk back. It's just those little, okay, I can walk to these places. And then I started enjoying the walks and then I started craving the walks. And that's the difference because I was a lazy person. I didn't feel the need to go out. I'd drive somewhere. I'd drive to Tesco, which is literally a 4 minute walk away from my house, and I'd spend longer finding parking because I was that person. But now it's like, why? What was I thinking? Because now I actually it's like, no, I need a walk. I need to get out. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying that fresh air. It's good
Yeah.
for me. It's good for my mind, let alone my body. So it's
And
Yeah.
just
what about in terms of nutrition and food, day in the life of Meera along those 4 years and now?
Um, a lot of it was just eating for the sake of it. Because I'm bored, because I'm busy, whatever it is, it was literally just grab food, any food, whatever's easy and I didn't care that much about it. Like I said, the cheese grater example. If I'm grating a piece of cheese, I can't be bothered to grate that last bit because it'll just get a bit niggly. I'll just stick it in my gob. It was literally that those kind of things, and it's like it made me think twice, and I think before I eat now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
started off
Yeah.
weighing all of my food. Like when I started with the program, I started weighing everything, and now I've got a general idea of what kind of those portions are now. I know how much rice I'm taking now rather than just filling the bowl. It's because that's the size of the bowl. Let me now I know what I'm looking at. Now I know what I'm measuring, those kind of things. And I know that that's what fills me rather than just what's in my plate. So let me eat it.
Yeah.
Cool. Just because you're talking about the measuring and the weighing, so like my first question to you is like, did you find that long? Was it because that's something that a lot of people will come up against us with and just be like, oh my God, that's so long. I don't want to do it. Like, do I
Mm.
have to do it? Does it involve that? I've tried that in the past. It's long. Like, what would your response be to that now? Were you one of those people that used to think like that? And what do you think to that now?
Yeah, that was me. That was me. I even thought this weighing rice. So my thought was, you know what? Let me weigh what I'm already doing.
Yeah,
So that I thought, let me just see how that works. And it was like, wow, okay, those numbers are completely different. And then just looking at the difference, I was like, okay, I do need to weigh
yeah,
because that
Yeah.
that spoonful of rice, because it's a heaped spoon, adds basically half of what my actual portion size was meant to be, and it was like for no reason.
Yeah.
It was something that I thought would be long, but it literally adds a few seconds because you just keep the scales out and put the bowl instead of on the counter, you put it on the weighing scales. It's it doesn't add that much. Less than a minute is added to plating up because of weighing.
This is a genuine question. Why did you think it would be long? Because I'm always intrigued to find out like what the individual thinks it will do, or like what sort of longness it will add to their life. Like what was the restriction to it, or what was the thought process? Like, oh, I can't do it because of what reason?
It's just another step, right?
Okay, fine, fine. It's
Yeah.
just another thing that you have to do, and you're just like, oh my God, do I have to do this as well? Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But now in hindsight, I'm so glad that you turned around and said, actually, no, it just only adds on if a matter of a few seconds onto
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Not even a minute, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good.
sometimes if it's a new food or something I'm looking at, I still have the weighing scales just out. I haven't put them away now. It's just they're there because
Good.
I
Yeah.
know how easy it is to just quickly check something or yeah.
Good. And just
Amazing.
as we're on the topic of time, like, did you ever feel like I don't have time for this? Or did you ever feel like that sort of coming into the program and like, starting this, were you ever like, oh my God, I'm not gonna have time for this. I've got the newborn, I've got a toddler, like how is this all gonna work? Was there ever that sort of feeling?
Yeah, so I was stressed about again, is this another job I have to do because I'm already at capacity? But quite frankly, it's the same job. I'm already cooking. I'm already plating up my food. I'm already eating. It's all the same. It's just twisted a little bit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's not an extra job. It's just a different way of looking at the same job.
Excellent.
Cool. And what did you do if you came across any times where, motivation dropped or you felt like, oh, I can't do this? Like Nick was saying, I don't have time. So were there any times where you lacked motivation and you felt like, oh shit, I can't do this?
Yeah.
What was it that kept you going?
You, in short answer. Um, but yeah, I did lose motivation a little bit at the beginning because it was just like the training aspect. On the nutrition, I as soon as I started doing it, I was like, this is easy. The training part of it was like, how am I going to fit that in? I've literally got a newborn who doesn't sleep, who's constantly on me. And there was, I think, quite a few conversations at the beginning with yourself saying, I haven't done it. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to miss it again. But then it was more like, all right, just fit in what you can, do what you can. It's not, you don't have to do the full session. If you can do 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. If you can do the whole thing, but do something. So
Yeah.
then it was like, okay, I'll do something. And then even when she was on me, sometimes I was like, you know what? She weighs this much. Let me just squat with her. So
Yeah.
just anything. So it was literally don't worry about doing it. It's not all or nothing because the
Yeah.
little things do add up.
Oh,
So I was
100%.
doing a little bit where I could. So I wasn't completing the task, and I love a tick box. So I wasn't getting those ticks
Yeah.
on True Coach, but it was like, you know what? I've done a little bit. I've done what I can. I have moved and I have done as much as I can. And that
Yeah.
was Jamie's push, really.
And just to say as well that most of our calls, when I had a call with Meera, she was out walking. She was hardly ever at home. So most
Good.
of our calls were done with walking calls.
Yeah.
Killing two birds with one stone. That's the way that you want to do it, right? If you're on a call about
Absolutely.
health and fitness, you better be like not on your ass eating chocolate, right? Like you want to be
Yeah,
out walking.
yeah. I should be pushing that buggy up the hill. Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
helped that my baby liked the buggy and liked to sleep in the buggy. So
yeah. We actually end up like over the last few years, I think we've worked with so many like new mums or mums that work with us in maternity leave and things like that. And what we always say to them is like this is like a different chapter of your life now. Like you're at a stage now where something is better than nothing. So yeah, that 10-minute workout is gonna getting 10 minutes done is better than doing nothing. It's
Yeah,
definitely better than like trying to strive for perfect and get a 60-minute session and just not doing it at all. So yeah, it's
yeah,
just the chapter of life that you're in. And yeah, things will ease up as the kids get older, but right now you just get done what you can that will just move the needle forward. So you just have to go in with that
absolutely.
mindset. Yeah,
Absolutely. And talking about moving the needle forward, as soon as I started seeing the results, it motivated me to do more as well. So I
100.
yeah,
started seeing the weight just come off and it's like, I'm not even doing much.
No,
So
but
it's
you
like,
are like, no one comes to us in a position. It's very similar to what you're saying. No one, rarely do we ever get people, right, Jamie, where they come to us in a position where they're just eating like shit all throughout the day. It's the little mindless things, like you said, like you've grated a bit of cheese, there's a bit left over, you mindlessly eat it. Like those are the things that are holding you back. So
Yeah,
all anyone needs is just a 7 day stretch where they are absolutely just locked into it and on it. In that 7 days, you'll see a result, and then that will then motivate you for the second week to keep going. And that's all you need. You just need that stretch of time where you're just absolutely on it and you just do it for a 7 day stretch. And I think that's exactly what happened with you. You just stop the mindless snacking. Your food hasn't changed because you didn't come to us in a position where you're eating rubbish all throughout the day. It was just
yeah,
the little 1%. It's probably the snacking, the evenings, weekends, socials. Once you tighten all of those things up, that's what's allowed you to move forward.
yeah. And I also think it's been like really good that Mira's been able to reach out when she's had these socials. Um,
mm,
and then she knows what she's doing, right? You know what you're doing.
yeah.
So reaching out, the accountability on the weekends, it's all included in that 7 day stretch, which has been
How did you
amazing.
how did you find that element of things? Because social events can prove difficult. How did you find sort of the way that we gave you advice to tackle them and approach them, and how did you feel going into them?
Um, it went against what I thought you'd say. So I thought it'd be okay, just starve yourself and hold all your calories and just go wild, or watch and wait, think about what you're eating, like to the point. But it wasn't. It was okay, make sure you've eaten 2 meals before you go, and like smaller meals so you're not starving, and then you're gonna just eat. And then it was like, I wouldn't have thought of that. I would have just thought, okay, let me save all my calories and eat what I want to eat. But it was like I was actually full enough to eat what I want to eat, but in a lot less, if that makes sense. So I still enjoyed myself and I still ate what I wanted to eat. But because I wasn't starving, I didn't need to eat the full portion of every single thing on the table.
Yeah. Did
So
you
it
ever
was,
get comments from people like, "Come on, just have a little bit more," or like, "What you on a diet for?" Or did you get any of that, or was no one really able to tell that you were doing something because you were just
um,
eating kind of normally?
most of the time people couldn't tell.
Okay.
But when I was with the people I that knew that I was on the program, they were watching what I was doing a bit more, like, don't you want an extra slice? Don't you want that? And it's like, no, I don't. And so it's like they
Yeah.
were just testing to see what the
Yeah.
boundaries kind of were. But it was like I think I held my own anyway.
Yeah.
I was very much able to be like, no, I don't want to. And it was like, oh, you sure?
Was that because you were going into the event well, like you weren't starving, so you were able to say no, or was there because there was just this level of motivation and sort of perseverance about you where you're like, nope, I'm working towards my goals, I'm not going to have any extra. Like what was keeping you strong?
I think it was because I wasn't starving.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think that helped. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Really good. Really, really good.
amazing. And finally, if there's anyone listening to this, what 3 tips would you give someone who, wants to start this or is sitting on the fence, feeling a little bit demotivated or doesn't know whether to come to us? What 3 tips would you give them right now?
You know what? Just start. Just start because there's always a reason not to. There's always something that's gonna be like, all right, when this finishes, or just just start and then you'll realize that you don't need to overcomplicate it. Embrace the journey. You chose it for a reason. So don't just be like, all right, it's gonna be easy. I have said it's easy, but that's because I was motivated and I wanted to do it, and I listened to the rules, the guidance that I was given, and it made sense to me. So it's not complicated. You'll see results. And trust your coach, I think.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, you definitely have to. I like what you say. It's easy, but it's not easy. It's
Yeah.
easy once you get going and once you find your rhythm. But what I always think is that individual, such as yourself, has to come in. And in those initial few weeks, you just have to set aside a little bit of time to do some of the
Mm.
tasks that we're asking you to do. And once you sort of complete and understand those homeworks, ask the right questions, and are responsive, yeah, then it's like smooth sailing and you just got it on autopilot almost, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. You put in the work at the beginning and it sorts itself out afterwards. Like the pre-planning the meals, for example. I just know what I'm doing now, so I don't even think about my meals, what I'm going to make anymore. So it's just like this. I just know what's happening now, so it feels easy. The systems are in place for it to be easy.
Amazing.
Yeah, good.
I've got two more questions just before we
Go
sort of
for it.
wrap things up. The first one is like it's around sort of like this online model, working remotely. Although we live in the same town, it's a remote program, right? And it's can be quite a fairly new concept for some people. What made you gear to or sway towards, sorry, this online approach versus sort of seeing someone in person, like the conventional PT, where you'd go and sort of train for an hour and then come back? Like, what was the reason that you wanted to do that?
Oh, well, I don't have time to just set aside an hour for a PT. And even if I did, it would be okay, well, my kid is ill now, so I can't. There will be that chopping and changing. So the online model was quite flexible. Jamie was obviously very understanding when, all right, the little one's not feeling well, so she's either on the call or we'll have to reschedule. It's just, it was a lot more flexible and a lot more understanding. I feel like
Yeah.
I could literally just say, okay, my little one's again not well, and there's no further questions asked. It's like, all right, no problem. Next, we'll just move it to this time or another day or whatever it is. It was just flexible.
Amazing, amazing. And then the final one that I always like to ask is just regarding sort of the investment into the program. So a lot of people, will look at that and think, wow, that's sort of a lot to invest on myself for a health and fitness journey. Um, what are your thoughts on sort of your investment and did you ever feel that?
Definitely. Definitely. That's why it took me so long as well. I think I asked you the price quite a few times, and I had the discussions with my husband. I was like, is it worth it? That's why I tried it myself. You put all the tips out there. I was like, I can do it myself. But you know what? I didn't see results by myself. As soon as I started, I saw results. So my investment didn't go to waste. I'm very happy with how much I put in because I quite frankly, I got that much out and more. And that's in my health. And I've learned the tips for the rest of my life, really. So I know what I'm doing and it doesn't seem expensive anymore.
I'm so glad you said that, the bit about
Yeah.
I've learned it for the rest of my life, because that is the key. Yes, you've dropped the 16 kilos. Yes, you are like in amazing shape. I saw pictures of you at a wedding just last week compared to before. Like you look immense, like so, so good. But those results have to stay mirror. 1 month on, you can't be back at square one.
Yeah,
So you have to keep living the lifestyle that you are. You are the fit mum, so just roll with that now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's my new personality now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Own it, own it. Honestly, it's a prestigious personality to have, so own it.
Yeah.
Excellent. I really, really
Amazing.
appreciate your time. Thank you for your insights. I think they're going to be so, so helpful for anyone that's listening. To anyone that is listening, if you did enjoy that, please let us know. Drop a comment on this, like it, and tell us more of what you would like to hear. We love getting our members on because I think it's always nice to hear firsthand sort of how a process is and what someone did and how they got there. But yeah, either of you two, Jamie, Mira, have any parting words?
I know. Just thank you, Mira, for
Nope.
coming on.
I was going to say
Um,
thank you guys for the journey.
yeah.
No, thank you for being such a great person to work with.